Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play series. So we're just on our way over to the sawmill. We're going to try and fill up the production sawmill as much as we can with these offcuts of logs we've got. And then anything else that won't go in there we'll take to the other sawmill next door, then we can sell them. That we can then load up all the prefab walls, or as many of the prefab walls we can fit on this trailer. As you can just about see, we've got quite a few now. I think there's about 12 in total. And that'll be the first income from our new sawmill. So I say we'll try and see how much the production sawmill will take first to keep this topped up. If I can find the trigger, there we go, pretty much all of it. So that's back up to 73,330 litres, so we don't need to worry about that running out of logs anytime soon. So we can get the log poles folded down, and we'll try and get these prefab walls loaded up. I've got the skid steer over here already. I'm just trying to think if it's going to be better to reconfigure this. We should be able to fit two on side by side, I think. Well, we'll give it a try anyway to see if we can fit as many on as we can. So we may have to do 2 trips possibly to get them all down to the sell point. So we'll give it a try. I don't think we're going to fit all of them on. They are quite big. So yeah, we've got 12 in total. And the current price is just below 5,000 per 1,000 litres. So we should have just below 60,000 for all of them. Then after this we've got the eggs to load up and take those to sell as well. As November is a really good month for eggs. I'm not sure how many eggs we've got, but we have got, I imagine, 15, possibly 15 pallets. Maybe not that much, but there's quite a lot there anyway. I've lost count of how many there are exactly, but we'll get those all loaded up as well, and we can get those sold today, and that should give us a nice big cash injection for the farm. That's not from selling forestry, or from logs at least. Partly the prefab walls are obviously coming from the sawmill, which is from logs we've cut, so in a way this is still from forestry, but we're not having to cut trees down and sell logs to get this money. With that work's already been done to make these prefab walls. So I say I'll get the rest of this trailer loaded up and we can get it down to the sell everything container. Alright, so we managed to fit 8 on in total. There's not really any room for any more. 8's about the perfect amount for this trailer. So we should get around about 50,000 for 10. So should just below 40,000 for these. There we go, they are selling. So 19,000 for the first few. And then 19,971 for the second 4. So yeah, just below 40,000 for those. So we've got 4 more to load up, so that'll be another 19,971 if the price stays consistent while we load them up. I think I may try and fit the eggs on as well, because yeah, 4 of them are only going to fill half the trailer, so we should have space for the eggs, so we can bring all those down in one go. Also recently there was an update for the sell everything container. The update says it adjusted the price scale for containers. It didn't really say any more than that, so I'm unsure if that means the price that you get for selling wood via containers is slightly lower now, or whether it's going to be increased. So until we actually load up the next 2 containers I bought last time and get those sold, I'm not quite sure which way that's going to go. So yeah, a little bit nervous about selling the next load of logs, because it could be worse than the previous time we sold them, or it could actually be a lot better. So I'm kind of nervously looking forward to selling them, just to find out which way it's going to go. So yeah, we'll get the next 4 of the prefab walls loaded up, and then we'll get all the eggs on as well if we can, and we can get those sold. Then the next job's probably be finish the horse pasture off and get the next 8 horses as well. So we'll be up to 16. And we can get those in the open pasture, fill up their feed trough, their water, so they've got everything they require. We'll also need to build the next trailer home as well, so we can get an extra worker, because I do think 8 horses for one worker is a reasonable limit. I don't think I'd really want to go any more than that, so we'll build another trailer home as well, which we've now got the money for. And so the next thing I want to save up for then is getting probably another FDR machine that we can then keep the grab on, one that's more suitable for loading the logs as well. And then we'll possibly look at getting a forestry trailer, and then not using containers, and load up a forestry container with trees, I should say, and then see how much we make from that. So the last 4 prefab walls are all loaded up. So the next is the eggs, and as you can see there, we've got quite a few pallets. So we'll try and get all those loaded up as well, and then we can get those sold at the same time. So that should give us a really nice big payday. Another 20,000 for these prefab walls, and then I'm not even quite sure how much the eggs are per 1,000 litres currently. So 1,415 for the current price. So that could possibly another 25,000 for the eggs, which won't be too bad at all. Let's get the straps off, get those ramps down so we can get the skid steer off. Get that switched off as well. And yeah, we'll try and get all the eggs on. How many pallets are there? What's that? 4 in a row. What's that? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 pallets plus that partial one. That's a lot more than I thought there was. Let's see if we can pick up 2 at a time. I can't quite see in the grass where the... Oh, I don't think we'll get 4. That might be a bit too much. Yeah, a little bit too heavy. Should be able to do 2 at a time though, and I should be able to just drive up and drop these down. We will probably have to stack some pallets on top of the others. Might not look the best as there are pallets of eggs on top of eggs, but it'll mean we'll be able to get all of them down in one trip. There's some weird collision on the bottom of that prefab wall. Just drop them there instead. So, oh, yeah, this is the one problem doing it on the ramp. It's probably not going to work very well this way around, being able to get the forks out. Yeah, that's not going to work that way. So I want to put these on from the side, which I think will be a much better option. I might actually need to put the ramps up as well, so we can fit some over there. Yeah, so I'm going to try and see if I can get all of them on. I'm going to just restrap those down and we'll put the ramp back up as well. I just think some of the pallets may overhang on the ramp. And I'll see if I can get all of the pallets loaded up. And we can get these sold as well. Okay, so last 3 pallets to go on. I might as well take the partial one as well, just to get that out of the way. It's not a full pallet, but at least it'll be there may be 1,000 litres in there as well, which will be an extra $1,400. So we'll just get this last one on. We'll pull the truck forward a little bit so we can get that partial pallet, and then we can get these down to the sell everything container and see how many we've actually got on here. So you can see that is quite a few pallets, but this will be the first lot of eggs we'll have sold from the chickens since we put them in. I did work out as well, they are roughly getting through around about 2,500 litres of barley each month. Currently what we've got in the silo is only going to last us about 3-4 months at most with what we've got in the feed trough as well. So yeah, we're definitely not going to have anywhere near enough barley to keep the chickens fully fed until the barley is ready to harvest again. So we've got several options we can do with that. We can either buy chicken feed from the store in big bags. I'm not sure how much that is per big bag. I might have a look when we're down at the store. Why can I not get my forks in this pallet? There we go. So another 1,232 litres of eggs on here. Yeah, so we could buy big bags. I think if they're 1,000 litre big bags, we're going to need 2.5 per month to keep the chickens going. And I think it's going to be another 7 months before the barley will be ready to harvest. We've got enough for around about 3.5-4 months. It's probably a bit less than that, probably 3.5 months. So there's 27,832 litres of eggs on there. And then the 4,000 prefab walls, so that should bring us in quite a decent amount of money. Yeah, so we'd need, I'd say, at least 4 months worth. So there's going to be 8-10 bags of chicken feed. So we'll have a look how much that's going to be worth and see if it's going to be worth buying it. The other option is to sell off half of the chickens. So sell off 250 chickens, and then every time they reproduce, sell off the new births and keep it down to 250, which should technically mean we only need half the amount of feed. So we'll still be producing eggs, but not as many because we won't have as many chickens. So either way, we're going to lose out even on production or on how much profit we make, because we're obviously buying the feed. So yeah, 2 options, but I don't know which one we'll go with. So I might have to have a look how much chicken feed's going to cost. There we go, we'll get these sold. So we're up to 70, 80,000. I think we should easily break 100. So 90, yeah, 100, probably 115. No, 108.92. So 59,343 in total. So 19,000 of that was the prefab wall. So it's around about 30,000 for the eggs. So that's not too bad, and a nice start to the day. We've gone from 8,000 to around about $100,000. So while I'm here, I'll just go have a quick look in the store and just see how much the big bag of chicken feed is. As it's 1,400 per 1,000 litres. So that's going to be 2,800, 3,500 per month. At 1,500 or 1,400 per pallet would need, well, it's not per pallet, it's 1,400 litres of eggs on each pallet. So I think we'd need to be probably getting 4 or 5 pallets per month to be able to make it worth doing the chicken feed. Obviously, if we was on normal economy or easy economy, then it'd be we'd be making a lot more from the eggs. So yeah, it might not be worth or cost effective to actually do the chicken feed, and depending on how many pallets of eggs we get. So I might keep an eye on that, keep track of how many eggs we get from now till next month. And if we're not getting enough pallets of eggs to cover the cost of the feed, then it's not going to be worthwhile buying it. So we may have to look at selling off the, let's say, 250 of the chickens instead. Alright, so that's all the eggs sold. I think next job is we'll switch over to the truck and we'll go and buy the next 8 horses for the open pasture, or the open horse area we built. We can finish off the grass on that as well. So yeah, we'll need to move these out of the way. Probably take these down by the tree harvester. and then we'll go and jump in the truck and say get down to the animal dealer to get the next 8 horses, which will be quite a few trips actually, because we can only fit 2 at a time in the trailer. Right, so we're back on our way down to the animal dealer. I've already bought the first 6 of the 8 horses we're going to get. So this will be the final 2. I've got 1 of each colour up to seal brown and dun, so we'll get 1 each of these. That's going to be another 1,000. So we're down to 104,104, 104, 104. So yeah, we'll get these 2 into the open pasture, and then we can finish tidying up the landscape a little bit around there. So get a bit more grass painted down and remove some of the bushes that are in that pasture as well, and just tidy up the bit or the entrance way into that pasture, so we can actually see where the gate is. Just make it look a little bit neater and tidier. We won't do too much because I say it does cost quite a bit of money to do the landscaping, and don't want to waste too much money at the moment. Right, so back up at the farm, we can get the last 2 horses in. We'll also need to get the trailer built for the worker as well. Just get the gates opened, which is just here. You can see the first 6 in there, or somewhere about. So we'll get rid of those bushes just so it's all grass in here. So we'll move to husbandry. And move to husbandry. So we've got 8 out of 16. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure on the here it says 25. Yeah. But looking at that, it looks like we can only fit 16 in here. So we've got, what's that, 4 too many horses now? So we'll have enough space in here for all of these to reproduce, but we won't have any space for the ones in the stable, which I was going to move 4 of those into here, because I thought this was 25. But yeah, I've only just noticed it's showing there that it's only 16, not 25. So it doesn't matter too much. What we could possibly do is just sell 4 of the horses from the stables to free space up in there, and then we'll have space in here for all of these to reproduce, which will take us up to 16 in there, and then space for 4 in here. So I think we may have to do it that way. I literally only just noticed for the last 2 that it shows 16, not 25. So currently the ones in the stable, see the first 4 we got are up to 1,038 now, so we could sell those now and make some money on them. But their reproduction is still quite a few months off, so that value will be a lot more. So we could sell 4 of those to clear space in the horse pasture, and then we've got enough space in the open pasture. So we won't get any more horses now, we'll stick at what we've got. We'll get the truck moved out of the way. No, I don't want to get in the fuel tank. Not going to be able to drive very far in a fuel tank on the back of the pickle. So you can see we've got a little bit of tidying up to do around here. So if I get this put back in the shelter here, so it's out the way, and we can just try and tidy up that landscaping a little bit. I say at the moment it is literally just going to be a quick tidy up job until we've got a little bit more money, because there's other things I'd rather spend money on than landscaping at the moment. We'll get that dropped off and we'll just pull that out the way. Get the engine turned off on that. And we'll just... Nope, I've accidentally opened the back up again. So we go into build mode, and then so I just want to try and finish the grass off in here, which is going to be very expensive. Also want to try and get rid of some of these bushes as well, because they do look a little bit messy inside here. get rid of a few of those. Get rid of that one as well. So the gate's roughly there. So if we go painting and then dirt texture, I could just roughly mark out where the track is there to get in. Just where roughly about there. Bring that to about where the drop off point is, and then we'll bring it round to the water fill and the feed area. Put a bit of dirt around that as well. And then we'll fill the rest in with the meadow grass. So we're already down to 102,000. Try and fill in the middle of the track as well a little bit. Oh, there we go. We're down to 81,000. What we'll do as well, we'll just tidy up a little bit more in front of this area where the gate is as well. So if we bring that, probably bring that out a little bit as well there and there. Bring that round just a little bit more. And we'll just get a little bit more meadow grass in, just to fill that bit in there. Around this bit. I'm not going to do all that yet because it's, as you can see how much it's costing us. We're like down to 77,000 just from that, but I think that's just tidied it up a little bit. So we can leave that as it is for a little bit. So we need to get some water. So I'll go and get the water tank, which is down by the greenhouse. And we can get the horses some water, and then we'll give them some oats and a bale of hay, so they've got some feed. Okay, so I've topped the water up. That's fully topped up on the horses. I've done the stables and the sheep as well. So what we're doing, we need to get the oats out. So I thought while we've got some money, we'd get the second auger that we can use then for unloading the silos or grain bins. As I did mention, I wanted to get the other one that's a lot easier to use than the one we've currently got for unloading. So if we go to belt systems, so there is the vintage auger, this John Deere one, which is slightly smaller, but again this is similar to what we need. We'd have to hook the tractor up to it every time and then move it around with the tractor as well, which is a little bit more difficult. So this one we can actually get in. It's like hand operated. It's got its own engine to run the auger, so no need to connect a tractor up to it. It's obviously a lot more expensive, but this is just going to make things so much easier. So we'll get one of these, and then eventually what we'll do, we'll get something like the conveyor or the Westfield to load. I think that one's possibly a bit too small for our grain bins. So I think, yeah, we'd need something like the MKX or the conveyor to load the grain bins with. Again, these ones have got their own power supply, so you don't need to hook a tractor up to these. Okay, so we're back from the store. Now this first bin is the one with the oats in. Looking at actually how big this auger is, could actually possibly use this one for loading these bins because they're not the tallest of bins. Let's get this started up. Possibly we may have the height to actually utilise this one for loading. Yeah. Actually, we could use this one for loading and unloading. Saves us buying a second one. This one's a lot easier to move around. Yeah, we've got plenty of height on there. For some reason I thought this one was a little bit smaller than it actually is. But I think it's those actual grain bins are a lot smaller than they look. So if we get this underneath here, and we can jump in the skid steer, and we should be able to get some oats out now. So this will get a lot more expensive, but it's just so much easier to use. There we go, 2,000 litres of oats. So that's going to save me a lot of time, especially when I need to keep switching between oats and barley to get that out. So we could sell the older one. I may keep hold of it for a bit because it's not worth a lot of money, so there's no rush to sell that. What we'll do, we'll fill up this one first. I'm pretty sure they've still got plenty of hay from when we overfilled the hay the first time. So we'll just check. Yeah, so they've got 5,400 litres of hay, which is more than plenty. So we'll fill the rest of the trough up with the oats. That's as much as they can take. I don't know how big the feed trough is on this one. Well, we'll give them one full bucket of oats to start with and see how much that fills it up. And then we'll work out how much hay to put in there as well. Right, so first 2,000 litres of oats. We'll see how much that fills the trough. So not a lot, so it looks like there's obviously 16 horses in this one compared to 8, so it's probably a bigger feed trough in total. So I think if we give them another 2,000, that'll be 4,000 or just under 4,000, and then we'll give them a bale of hay as well, so that can fill up the remaining space. And then what I'll do then is I'll just keep on topping up the oats as and when we need to, so they'll always have some oats in there, and then we just need to give them some hay when that's run out. I've given the horses another bucket of oats, and I'm just going to give them this bale of hay. That should keep them going now for a while. I've also given the sheep another bale of hay, as there was no hay bale in front of their feed trough. I imagine this will take this, maybe if I can get the pail off the... It's not completely taking it, so I won't leave it there, because obviously this will just take the hay rather than leave space for the oats then. So we'll put this one in the shelter here to use another time. But that's the 8 horses sorted, so we just need to go and do the next trailer, so we've got a second horse helper. So we'll just drop this bale in this shelter with the other hay bales. Get that in there. There we go. I'll just leave the skid steer there for a bit as well. So we'll just check. I'm not surprised it didn't take the entire hay bale, but there's still plenty of space in the feed area. But yeah, that'll do for those horses. Chickens are fine for now. Probably more likely I'm going to sell 250 just to reduce how much feed we need rather than buying any feed. Because I think it's going to be far more cost effective, because we'll get the money for the chickens and then we'll just reduce the food amount as well. So obviously we'll halve our egg production for a little bit, but I think that'll be better than actually buying feed. So sheep are up to 75 now. They've got plenty of water and hay. The next reproduction, they're 20%. They're the newborns, and they've almost reached puberty, so these ones will start reproducing soon as well. So it won't be too long, and we'll be up to 100 in that pasture, so we'll need to get the next one built. So I think that's where I want to start work, or continue work on the forestry, clearing the trees from this side of this pasture so we can create the space for the next sheep pasture ready for when we need that, which probably won't be too long. So we'll get in the tree harvester and we'll get that up there and we'll start clearing another load of trees. I'm also interested, obviously, as mentioned earlier in the video, to see just how much we get from the next 2 containers we sell. This will be the last tree we clear, and then we'll start getting these loaded up. See if we can fill both containers. So we've cleared a reasonable size area. I think there's still a few more trees. Probably only a couple actually we'd need to clear to get another one of those sheep pastures built. I don't want to build it right up next to that one. I want to leave a slight gap. We'll do the fence as though they're joined, but I'd like to leave a little strip between them, like the actual area where the sheep are, so we can put a few trees in, or a tree down the middle, just to separate those pastures, give the sheep a little bit of shelter as well. And it's not going to affect the sheep like climbing trees or anything. I'm not sure if they'll either just glitch through trees if you put trees inside the pasture area, or whether they'll start climbing them. So we'll drop the forest head off. So I think possibly only that one just in front of us there. And then this one here is probably the only 2 we need to clear to get enough space for the sheep pasture. So I'll go and get the head on this, which is going to take a while because it's extremely slow. Then grab on and we'll start loading up these 2 containers. Okay, so we have the 2 containers almost full. So all the big logs 9 metre we build it to 99%, so 65,667 litres. Stupidly though, I forgot I'd stopped the recording, so I didn't record any of the loading of the logs. But yeah, let's see how much we actually get. We're not going to get the full amount because obviously there's not 100%. So 27,338 for that one, and 27,277. So yeah, not much of a difference, if any noticeable difference really. Yeah, so not sure what the update was for the price scale change. Doesn't seem to have made too much of a difference. But we're back up to 117,645. I'm going to get 2 more containers. I'll probably get those filled as well today, so we can just clear a little bit more of an area, and then we'll get those sold. I'm back from the store. I've just sold another 2 full container loads, so we're up to 153,242. I want to apologise now. I've been having a few slight issues with recording, and a few clips I recorded don't seem to have recorded properly. I'm not sure why. But I've cleared a few more trees from down the side of here, so continuing along down the side of this field, working our way down towards the end here, so we can start working our way across the back of this field and then clearing down towards that raised section which is over that way. So I'll probably get those 2 containers filled for next time, just to try and speed up that, as the problem we've got now is I've missed a slight patch of weeds with the herbicide, annoyingly. Yeah, the problem we've got is it's just taking obviously a while now to clear all the trees to open up enough space to really expand the farm any further now. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit to do that. So if I can get some trees cut off camera in between episodes to help just clear a few areas a bit quicker. So next thing we need to do before I forget is we'll pay the loan off and we'll get the next trailer built. So if we do the loan first, so we'll repay 5,000 for last month, 5 for this, so we're down to 80,000 on there. I need to then remove 2,500 for the loan payment fine that we missed last month, and then we'll go into build mode and we'll go to farmhouses and we'll get another one of the trailers we've got from Omatana, and we'll put this one in line with that one. We'll bring it back to about there, I think will do. And then we'll just quickly tidy up the landscape. We'll put a bit of gravel in front of it, the same as the others. Probably want to bring that just a tad wider. There we go. I'll just bring that corner off a little bit and then tidy up the those bushes a little touch there as well. Probably actually brought that one a little bit further back than the other one. Just put a bit of grass back in there and put a touch of gravel back, and I'll probably do the same with this one as well, just to make it look a little bit tidier. Partly did that one, and we'll do the same as well. We'll give them a mailbox, why not? Go and find the mailboxes, change the colour on this one, go for a nice green one this time. There we go. So there we've got the 2 horse helpers and the worker for the sawmill. So that's another job done. So yeah, we'll leave it there for this episode. So we've got a bit more progress done. We've got another 8 horses into the open horse pasture now. Sold all our eggs and prefab balls, quite a bit from those. We are just short of being able to get the next FDR logging machine, which we'll probably do next time. So if I get those 2 containers filled, that should give us more than enough money to buy a second FDR machine that we can then use for loading logs. And I'll probably also get a log trailer as well, so we can do a load of 8-meter logs and see how much we can make on each trip, then doing 8-meter logs instead of doing 9s in containers. See if that helps speed things up a little bit. So yeah, quite a bit more done today, so hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. We really do appreciate that. And if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. We've got more Farm Simulator 22 content coming up with this series and also the live streams as well. Now, what's me doing the opening? There we go. So yeah, big thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.